What's going on, everybody? Let's take a walk. I got a lot on my mind. I want to just take this time to unload a bit. Feel free to watch. Feel free to click off. This channel has become a lot more to me than just a means of sharing the message of who you are to you. It's really become a therapeutic tool for me. So there's a lot of videos on here for you. This one is for me. It's scary. The world that I have in front of me. It's really scary. And it feels so backwards. But what can I do but continue to move forward? See, when I declare I'm going to do something, or when I set my intent towards a certain direction, I don't allow myself to fall back. Not for the things that I really want. That's kind of how I test whether or not I really want something. But when I've determined that this is something that I really want, what I do is I put myself in a position where I can't back out. The results are absolutely catastrophic if I don't continue forward. And if you're continuing watching this video and you've been in a position where you've been taking action towards something and then you fall off for whatever reason, what I'm saying to you is exactly what you're thinking about as that thing that would hinder you from doing what it is that I'm saying right now. It's that I cut every thread. I burnt every boat, set every bridge on fire, and I have no choice but to grow or die, grow or die. And from this position, I can see what I really want. And for me, I can see where my fear is really just like a bead door that all I got to do is push through. And I mean, it's not even solid. and it makes it so much easier for me to take action when I have this enormous amount of pressure, but at the same time, it's still an enormous amount of pressure that I've put on myself. And it's scary. The flag shouldn't be flying after hours. And it's scary. It's uncertain. It's incredibly uncertain. And I mean, I have obligations, obviously. I have things that I must, do. Places where I absolutely have to dedicate some time, like my son. And it's a lot, it's a lot. So I really just want to take this time to give myself a bit of grace. I'm putting these videos out as quickly as I can record them. I don't much care for editing or anything like that right now because, I don't really need a reason. It's my channel. I never conceived this channel as being a channel where I'd have super edited videos. I really want this channel to be raw, gritty. I plan on adding some things. I got some things in the works for this channel to maybe give it a little bit more class, you know, give it a little more personality for me, make use of my gifts in a way that will enhance the channel. And whenever I can make that happen, you'll see. But for now, outside of maybe some sound effects and a link to another video, don't expect much editing from me. I mean, I may do some light sound thing to get rid of background noise, but I'm not any of those people who do their videos like that. I do my videos like this, and I do them like this for a reason. And for this channel, this works. It's not about, oh, I can get a ton of people to watch if I talk about a bunch of bullshit. No, I want the people who actually want to hear my message to find my channel, which means that I have to keep it as pure as I can. And I have to keep it as unadulterated as I can, as unfiltered as I can, and just be me. So understand that I'm not just talking about this stuff. I'm not just talking about this path. I'm actually walking it. And this channel isn't the only thing that I'm trying to bring about, you know, or enhance in my life. There's a lot. There's a lot that I am taking action on. But the difference, what makes it easier is that a lot of the things that I'm working on collectively, they can enhance each other. So it makes it easier for me to be learning in different areas and putting my attention on different things. For one, it allows me to diversify my attention without necessarily feeling bored about learning the same thing over and over. But it also, you know, makes me feel like what I'm doing is a lot larger. Like it feels like my life is a lot larger than it actually, you know, may present itself to be right now. And that's important too. Being able to capture that feeling, however you can capture a feeling of a larger life, is critical. So for me, this is how I'm doing it. And I was talking to my therapist the other day, and was it my therapist? No, I don't think it. Yeah, it was my therapist. And I was doing part of this little questionnaire thing, and I remember one of the questions was like, "Hey, who's your support system?" I'm like, "Me." Like, yeah, but you know, most people have this, and this. I'm like, yeah, me. Like, how long has that been? Like, my whole life. And it's true. But I know that I'm not on an island there. I know that there's a lot of people who are like me. You're like, you feel like you're in this lone wolf path in your life. And it feels like even if you try to, you know, step out of it and be there for some people, that's just not the move for you. You may thrive being alone. You may be able to focus being alone. I haven't necessarily been able to focus, you know, and part of that is my fault. I had some bad habits, but I've had the concept of this channel in my head for years before I even picked up a camera and started recording, you know. So focus hasn't always been easy for me, and I'm getting better. Yeah. But it's still something that I'm, you know, actively aware of and am putting practices in place to be better with, especially as my boy is growing older and he's watching everything that I do, and I just want to be the best dad that I can to him, give him the best example that I can. So there's so much that goes into this, and I don't want the fact that I can't get videos edited in such a quick manner to be a hindrance to me getting these videos out and being as me as I can be. Because I'll tell you right now, a video like this where I'm being as vulnerable as I'm being, do you know how long it would take me to get this out if I had to sit and paw over every second and analyze every word? There's things that I've already said in this video that I'm thinking like, why am I saying this as I'm saying it? But at the same time, I realize that this is my channel, and I have to be the spark. I have to be as raw as I can. That's the only way that you see me and see that I'm truly, when I say some of the things that I say, as authoritative as I can say them, as influential as I can put my words together to be. I'm not trying to elevate myself above you. I'm not. You don't have to search for some type of flaw in me. I'm telling you my flaws. I'm telling you my struggles. I'm not putting myself out there to be some type of, savior to you. I'm telling you that you are your savior. That's why I changed my name to Xavier. I am my own savior. I am my own savior. And now I have to remember that it's so easy to fall victim to a false belief that you're just not enough, and that there's something that you need outside of you, some family or government assistance, or a particular entity that you need to be attached to. And you may have to rent yourself out for a while, but understand that that's what you're doing, especially if you feel a huge amount of dissonance whenever you go to work. That's what you're doing. All you're doing is renting yourself out while you do what you really want to do, and make sure that you're doing what you really want to do. For so many years, I sat and I wondered, I would ask myself this question, straight up. I would ask myself this: okay, is it time now? Is it time for me to do what I want? And then I'd go back and I'd live life for a bit, and I'd make decisions that seemed so freaking permanent, and they were so scary for me. And I'd be thinking in the back of my head, don't do this. The time will come. The time will come. And then you realize you're getting older, and it's like, okay, the time is still coming, right? The time is still coming. And I'm asking myself still, well, I was supposed to get the time to do that thing that I'm supposed to do. And then I'd have to ask myself, what thing? It's like, oh, I don't know. I'm doing all of these things because they're what I feel like I'm supposed to do, but I don't want to do any of them. None of them bring me happiness, and my life is full of them. And if I don't do something drastic, I'll be locked into this forever, and I'll never get to do that thing, whatever it is. I'll never become that person, whoever he is. That thought alone was enough to get me to completely change my reality, and at least give myself a shot to rebuild myself into the best version of me, or as close as I can freaking get it, and putting myself in this position where I have no choice but to grow is absolutely necessary for me with how I learn. It's for some people, this is what works, and I'm one of those people. So I'm gonna let you see me every step of the way. For a long time, I said, you know, let me lose the rest of the weight before I start making these videos. But I'm happy that I haven't yet, because I know I've lost more than 150 pounds in just pure weight, over 100 pounds off of the scale. Well over that, to be honest, with the amount of times that I cycled. And I've never actually seen my abs. I've gotten close enough where I can feel them. And I know that I've been blessed. Let's just call it that. But I haven't been lean enough to actually see them. And while it's not my main priority, I want to share that journey with you. Be that spark with this obesity epidemic going on. I want you to see. And I want to talk about not only the physical portion, but the mental portion as well. Because there's a whole, you have to be ready when you start a weight journey, because you really do become a different person. And not even by choice. People treat you differently. People of both genders, people treat you differently. And there's expectations of you depending on what you look like. And if you're not aware of those expectations, you just going about your life willy-nilly, not knowing how people perceive you, they'll perceive you a certain way because of that. They can assume that you're arrogant because you're not showing interest when you're not expecting to be getting any interest from certain people, much less showing it. So it's different, you know, it really is. And it's challenging. For me, it was really challenging trying to navigate, trying to get out of depression and just keep moving when, you know, people are looking at me like I'm someone that I'm not, and trying to treat me in the manner that I'm not. And I'm not going to get on here and to be one of those dudes who talks about things that I haven't necessarily experienced, when I've had tons of social anxiety and issues. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Not and yeah, I've been successful in some areas. I've learned some tactics to, you know, take care of myself, but that's just a physical thing. It's not really a spiritual connection. So I don't want to share that message, even though I know that gets views. I don't want to talk about that. What I really want to talk about is the growth that I've experienced, the healing that I've experienced, how every time that I start to fall back, just looking in the mirror and seeing how far I've come keeps me going forward. When in the last 2 weeks, I haven't really been able to go to the gym or the last week and a half, I haven't really been able to go to the gym regularly because of the sickness that I got. But I'm still going sporadically. Like I'm getting my workouts done just over a more spread out period of time. Like it's different. Like when you make it a priority in your life. And I love to share that side of myself with you all on this channel. I've got tons of ideas for content for you all to, you know, share myself with someone who actually wants to see me and hear my message, you know, hear what my life is like, or how I'm applying these principles and changing my life. Because I understand that I'm just a dude on the internet. You may not actually, you know, care about me. Even if I tell you in every video that I love you, I don't necessarily expect you to feel the same. I know that that's a lot sometimes for some people. And I've laid it on heavy at some places, and it's really had me stunned the reaction. So I don't want anyone feeling uncomfortable because I tell you I love you in my videos. It's just sometimes people go years without hearing another person tell them that they love them. And if you come to my videos, I don't want that to be you. So I'm going to make sure that I let you know in every video, I see the soul in you. And that soul is perfect. And I love you. Well, I don't know how we got here. Just let the thoughts flow on this walk. This is better than ruminating over the things that I have to overcome. This was nice. This was therapeutic. And you got a chance to see me. We'll take some more walks. I love you. I want to see the fullest expression of you. This is the spark.